What's up guys, I'm back again with my latest attempt at ruining people's League of Legends games. As always, I'm posting this video 2 weeks later than I intended to because I've been grieving over the suicide of my pet bird that flew into a wall and broke its neck 4 years ago. Anyways, if you feel like you haven't been getting enough of me from my mediocre 5-minute videos every other week, then you should try checking out my stream. Now that I'm done shamelessly self-plugging and making excuses, I can get on to the topic of today's video, Spellslinger Gnar. As of now, this is probably one of the more functional builds that I've suggested. Out of all the games that I played with it, I actually came close to winning a few of them, which is more than I can say for most of my other builds. It's playable in every lane, but I would advise against playing at support, since getting mistaken for a sheep and fucked to death by a New Zealander is more exciting than playing support. So for your mastery page, you're going to pick up Fury, Double-Edged Sword, and Thunderlords. Anything outside of these key masteries are personal preference. Don't bother asking me the full mastery page, since it changes from game to game. I usually just throw points onto the tree randomly. These just happen to be what I was running when I took the picture. On your rune page, you're going to grab Attack Speed Reds, Magic Resist Blues, Attack Speed Quins, and since I felt like this build was a bit too functional and unfair for the other team, you're going to pick up probably the most worthless yet most expensive yellows in the game, Percent Health runes. Don't worry too much about what you pick for your summoners, since for this build, you're going to completely unbind both of your keys. Since summoner spells are for shitty players who need a crutch to support their shitty gameplay. Alright, now it's time to go over Gnar's abilities. First is his passive, Roid Rage. Once Gnar maxes out his rage bar, he transforms into some sort of bear mammoth gym rat hybrid, giving him an entirely separate set of skills. Passive management is important because the last thing you want is to transform during a teamfight and obstruct your auto attack based damage that's provided to you by the build. Next is his Q. His Q throws a boomerang that actually returns to him, unlike his auto attacks, which are also smaller boomerangs. Any targets hit by the boomerang are slowed like an electric wheelchair that's running out of batteries. The ability should only be used early game and when chasing people, because trying to use it late game will only interrupt your auto attack based damage. If you catch the boomerang when it returns to you, it will reduce the cooldown on it by a few seconds. Gnar's W is another one of those super original and creative third hit abilities that give damage based on maximum health. The twist on this ability that makes it unique and original is the 100% AP scaling that would be useless on literally any build outside of this one. But that's not all. After proccing his third hit, Gnar gains movement speed surpassing that of even the fastest of basketball Americans. Since his build is based around AP and attack speed, you're going to be maxing this ability first to get the most damage out of your auto attacks. Gnar's E, Rocket Jump, is another completely original ability that's unique to the champion. It's a lot like Tristana Hop, but instead of having resets, it allows you to bounce off a unit's head, briefly slowing them, doing damage, and giving some extra jump range. You're going to max this second because it gives you attack speed for 3 seconds after using it. Gnar's final ability, his ult, is completely useless with this build. Since you can only use it in Mega form, you'll probably just get obliterated late game if you try and get close enough to use it with the lack of tank on the build. In hindsight, I should have gone over the build before the abilities since I alluded to it a lot while going over them, but whatever. The first item in the build is Gnash's Tooth. As I said before in the Twitch video, this is an item that compensates for the lack of actual AP scalings on Gnar. In addition, it also gives him some attack speed and cooldown reduction. Even after getting this item, your damage will still be negligible. It's important to remember that this is a late game build, so don't expect yourself to be popping off right from the beginning. The next item is Rage Blade. This item will allow you to proc your W every second auto attack instead of every third. At this point in the game, the damage you're doing will be slightly more uncomfortable for enemy players than the time I used Icy Hot to jack off. After that, you're going to buy Runan's Hurricane. This item allows you to spread your passive to multiple people at the same time and gives you a large attack speed bonus. Afterwards, you're going to pick up a Hextech Gunblade for both sustainability and some extra hybrid damage. It's at this point that you'll start pumping out illegal levels of damage. With this illegal level of damage, you can start botting the other team and crushing their aspirations of being anything other than a completely worthless, league-playing, plague to society, neat, parasitic oxygen thief that will never be anything more than a complete disappointment to not only their parents, but to everyone who has ever crossed paths with them in their disgusting form. Your final item is going to be a Frozen Mallet so you can slow people down while you molest them with tiny boomerangs. And for your boots, you have a choice between either Berserker Greaves or Sork Shoes. As I said earlier, this build can be played in any lane, but it's much better top. Early laning with this build is complete shit, so you're better off in a lane where they can't actually trade back with you. If you're really adamant on playing it mid, be prepared for a more difficult lane. Just know that the phrase, "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger," doesn't apply here, because your entire game will be gimped if you fuck it up early. Anyways, I digressed. If you really want to play it mid, make sure you secure your god-given right to blue buff, and don't forget to tell your jungler to go fuck himself while you're at it. Okay, I'm done with this video.